Hey, what is up guys, we're here and welcome back to Let's Play Sanctum 2 Part 3, I believe. So this time around we're gonna start a brand new area, and also, as always, a brand new loadout. I created this loadout a little bit earlier, so I don't have to cut the video and stuff like that. Although I will be changing one thing in it, because I basically forgot about one thing. This is the map we're gonna do has a lot of flyers. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a cheat here. Why I say cheat? It's because I'm gonna use a tower that is you obtain very late in the game, because I want to use a particular loadout, and that loadout is quite bad against flyers. Well, it's good and it's bad. So I'm gonna use this the entire air. Funny enough, Sanctum is one of those tower defense that give you the entire air, like after everything else. Even though it's very useful. The entire air is basically the ACP of flying units. It will destroy everything there is to destroy. If it flies. Just like the ACP will destroy everything there is. If it's a crawler. Well, that did something kind of dumb here. I forgot that. I'll keep some stuff out because obviously these are all flyers. Today we are using the crossbow, which is a gun that I like a lot, if you can call a crossbow a gun. It's a weapon. Crossbow is a weapon that do a shit ton of damage. It's very good. It has one downside though. It has slow rounds. I mean rounds, by that I mean rounds that take quite a bit of time before they reach a target. And also has a rather slow refire rate if you're going for max power. On the other end, it has a really good electrical bolt as a secondary shoot. It also has a very good synergy with the character it's supposed to be, because currently we're using Tisgian, which is a DLC character. She has a bonus damage on the last round, which means her last crossbow round... Fuck. I did not actually put that right. Her last crossbow round do massive damage, which is quite fun. Again, you could play with the perks and get something like hollow points, which means every third shot do more damage, to have a shot that will just have a ridiculous amount of damage. So again, play with the perks and have fun. Although on this particular thing I'm using Trickster, which allows me to dodge and give me 10% more damage. I'm using a perk that makes me do more damage when I'm not damaged. So basically now I would lose like 30% damage because I have a bonus for that. I'm using another perk which creates a bolt of lightning whenever I shoot someone. So if I shoot, for example, one guy, and 50% of my damage will like transfer to the other guy close by. So I'll just leave myself heal a little bit because obviously I'm damage, and let's go slaughter these guys. Wink. As you'll see, the crossbow is very good for getting down heavy armored enemies because of obvious high damage. Crit. The sniper, you want to aim for the crit, because if you don't, you're basically wasting the potential of the sniper rifle. It's a bit harder to do with controller, obviously, because Sanctum is a PC game, so there's no aim assist in this game, not that I'm aware of. So for controller people, it can be a little bit tricky, and I'm playing this girl with a controller because I'm old school like that. Played FPS on the console since forever, so I'm used to controller aiming a lot. I'm not used to mouse and keyboard aiming. I should probably try to learn at some point because mouse and keyboard has some advantage. I tend to say that mouse and keyboard is better for anything that is like aiming, but I would also say that mouse and keyboard is also worse for anything that is movement-wise, because you have a bit more precision for movement when you're using a controller, because you have all the axes unlike PC where you only have, mouse and keyboard where you only have like up, down, and left, right. So again, it depends on the type of person you are, and I'm gonna crit you because I don't like you. Oh crap! See the lightning bolt? It jumped on the hover and pretty much killed it. The advantage of using lightning bolt, it's very good for crowd control. When you have weapons that are not good for crowd control. There you go. Crap. Find it hard to crit stuff with the crossbow. Although if you manage to crit something with a crossbow, it's pretty much guaranteed dead, but just find it hard to do so. Now we have flying protection. We are going to go for crawler's protection by installing a massively upgraded ACP. As you'll pretty much see in all of them, my ACP is a constant. It is a tower that I never leave without. It's pretty much my shotgun in a Resident Evil game. I never leave without it. If I did, I would probably be starting to be insane. Drone here. The drone is basically a tower that attacks heavy armored and also ignore armor, which means it's very good against heavily armored enemies, and it's quite bad against everything else because it tends to have a lower damage output than other towers, but it will absolutely wreck armored enemies. CP, yeah, I think it should be all right. That's maxed out. I say that generally maxing out towers is better than having more of them. Although that is true and not, because some towers are actually better in huge bunch because of the way they work. Also, some towers when they upgrade they actually change a little bit. Like the cannon tower, you lose fire rate when upgraded, so you don't necessarily want to have it upgraded max if you have a bunch of crawlers. Boink. And you see the lightning bolt just taking effect by when I shot the other one, it just did a double kill. It's not because the bolt actually traverses, because of the perk I picked, which basically means it makes a lightning line that just damages everything in its path. Go for drone level 2 right now because it's obvious that's what I want.
This could work.
I don't have much defense against heavy units because I have a lot of I have this, which is good against heavy units, but I don't have any big guy destroyer. I don't need big guy destroyer because usually a lot of group. Huh. Just realized that my weapons are very much anti-mastodont, and my actual tower loadout is mostly crowd control. With few exception like the focus rifle and the drone is, you could say it's more about killing big guys, but the drone I would say is 50-50 because it's mostly killing armored stuff, which is not necessarily big guy. I'm not seeing a thing because the ACP. Screen check on the ACP is quite big. I do not recommend staying next to one when you're trying to snipe, but sometimes you just need a better view, and sometimes that view just happens to be an ACP. Up. Don't. Let's see. Crossbow just does massive damage. Look at the last shot, by the way. Boink. It's quite ridiculous. By the way, those drones are quite good against soakers because of the fact that the way soakers take more damage ever after each hit. The fact that drone just fires constantly, you just make that soaker tends to just die when they pass near drone and they get attacked by it. Which is quite awesome. And like I said, since there's a lot of people, I'll go for more crowd control measures. Okay, so we're gonna have a few flyers. Good thing we have our anti-air, and we're also gonna have a big giant dude. Obviously, giant dude, we want to aim for the yes. We're basically butt plugging them with giant lightning bolts, which is not that nice. Feel like we are a sadomasochistic Thor here because lightning bolt yes. Also, gotta be careful. This character doesn't have the most health. There is out there. Oh crap. Need to be careful about these guys. Yep, yep. Oh, you can also dodge in midair with the perk I picked, which is quite nice if you want to do some funky maneuvers. Let's go get rid of the last guy. Shouldn't be a problem. Just take my time and get the crits. Drink. Come on, you moved. Sometimes the erratic movement of some enemies can make getting crits quite difficult. Okay, let's see. We have a bunch of crawlers again. Yeah, this map really wants you to use your ACPs. Huh. And your entire if you have some. I'll place another one down.
This could work. I can't build.
Also, I should probably use my tower bases since I'm like hoarding them. And also I should probably patch holes in my defense. That would also be kind of smart. Yeah. Here, here. Put a bit of money in this to upgrade the range. Here we go. Doink. Sorry, Hintiers, I just stole your kill. Crap. Hate those exploding guys. And those tiny guys. I just tend to have a huge dislike towards small creatures. They're generally hard to deal with. Unless you have an ACP, of course. Because that is just awesome. Doink. I know shooting that guy with a sniper rifle isn't a great idea, but you know, my gun's reloading. And if you're wondering why I'm using crowd control option on the big guys, because I'm trying to get rid of the smaller guys at the same time. Come on. Come on, stop moving. I know you don't want to die, but you could at least make me not have to aim. Even though aiming is fun. Okay, let's see. We have this, which is not upgraded. I guess we're gonna put another upgrade in this, because this is very good. We're gonna put another upgrade in that to make it maxed. And I think we're missing a little bit of money. Okay, so Soaker. These are pretty tough. These are not small guys now, they're big guys, so the fact that I have a lot of ACP is quite bad. But I do have a lot of weapons that are good against those guys, so it should be a problem. I would say my defense is quite good for in terms of synergy with the weapons I use because of the nature of my weapons. Soakers are really nice for when you have the lightning, that lightning thing. They take a lot of damage, so and they're easy to hit, so it's really fun. It's pretty much a bunch of free crits. And I believe the lightning is stronger when you get a crit because your weapon damage is higher when you get a crit. But I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. I'll have to test it out at some point. Unless someone actually figured it out because just seeing me play. Obviously, if your guys don't have to pay attention to what you're doing, so obviously you can spot details more than I do. The other thing about Let's Players is that you don't necessarily, sometimes when you watch your stuff, you notice a lot of stuff that you were doing or asking because obviously we're paying attention elsewhere. You were paying attention and commentating and playing, so obviously you're not noticing every detail. But I'm fine with that as long as I don't miss something very obvious and make everybody wait 3 hours. In those kind of cases, I'd rather do a cut. Come on. Soakers just take so much damage. Oh, I forgot to actually change the focus rifle. Focus weapons, you want to aim them at the strongest enemy always because they do more damage the more they are still on target. Which means you want to always make them aim for the slowest, bulkiest enemy of them all. They're basically entire bosses and entire big guys. Like the warriors, for example, these are the type of enemies you want your focus weapon to aim at. Kind of missed a very easy shot there. Come on, Soaker. I know you want to die. Also, you! Okay. Basically, every tower, except stuff like ACP, which do an all-around attack, can be toggled to aim at a particular enemy. In the case of a focus tower, it's best to aim them at most health because that's where they are the most useful. It's also quite good to upgrade them because obviously they do a lot of more damage that way. Some towers are better upgraded than others, obviously. Like some gets actual very good benefits, and some are actually not that good upgraded. So it depends on the towers. I tend to like towers that get a huge buff when they upgrade, so I don't have to place 20 billion towers to have a decent defense. Also tend to like towers that remove annoyance, such as ACPs. These guys are quite numerous, which is not nice because if they are... Jeez. Yeah. Good thing I picked a shit ton of crowd control in terms of towers. I forgot how many enemies there was in that map. Obviously, you're seeing this and you're like, holy shit, there's a lot of enemies. But trust me, guys, this is only the beginning. Later in the game, there's going to be a lot, and a lot more than that. Obviously, you're going to have more towers to deal with them. But, still, a lot more enemies. Get that one upgraded. Max, and place another one of these guys. Oh, yeah. No, I'll actually show you another feature. When tower is maxed out, you can actually put more money into them like that. This is what they call overcharge. It basically keeps upgrading a tower further than it's supposed to. You don't get the tier bonuses, like for example, if you go for the ACP get more fire rate every time you level up. Like, for example, this, well, when you go overcharge, you don't get that bonuses anymore. You only get more damage. So it's good and bad. It's good if you really need one tower in particular, in a particular choke point. But I tend to not do the overcharge because it's actually more cost effective to just have a bunch of upgraded towers rather than overcharge one. Oh, and also new enemies, the Rhino. Rhinos are basically enemies that when they are in a straight line, they run faster. When they have to turn, they actually are a lot slower. Also, Rhinos can kill a lot of characters in one single hit because they do a massive amount of damage when they are running. Although when they are turning, they can't really attack you that much. So you want to make your defense with a lot of turns if you want to defeat Rhinos and avoid as much as possible straight lines. So if you know there's a map with a lot of Rhinos, do bear that in mind that using a straight line is not at your advantage. And that annoying Over is just being a dick and just avoiding all the defense. Here you go. Problem solved. Even though there's another one. Yep. There you go. And done. Obviously, this map, there wasn't much to talk about. It was just a sheer mess of crawlers, of flyers, and the general slaughterfest of tiny enemies. I tend to say it's one of my least favorite map in the principal campaign because it's just ACP and anti-air if you have it. Although it's also one of the hardest if you don't actually have the anti-air. If you don't have the anti-air, you got to use cannons and other towers that are really good against anti-air, and you also have to use a loadout that is geared toward killing those flyers. Basically using stuff like Sweet with RPG, which is very good for taking down flyers because one blast can do a lot of damage to a group of flyers. Other than that, it's a pretty standard map. Nothing to talk about except a lot of flyers. So, was Hailtothebreak here. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Hopefully a bit sooner this time around. See ya.